Well, hello there, my Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising Venus sign. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading for November 2019. And I'm just going to tell you right now, blessing the decks as I do every single time before I do a reading, tuning them to the collectives, calling in my collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, and the higher selves all involved. If you're new to my channel, this is what I do. Don't worry, I'll introduce myself in a second. Just buckle up. There was such power, such love coming from Source, coming from Divine Feminine in and of itself. It was just a lot. Almost moved me to tears, but it made me laugh. So, welcome to anybody new to my channel. I am Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, a Pisces moon, doing a Pisces reading during Pisces moon. I think that is probably a mitigating factor. President of During the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and what a day it has been. This is my last reading of the Zodiacal series for Path of True Love for November. I'll be back doing them for December towards the end of the month. But yeah, this is a lot, and it felt lovely. But let me get the exposition out of the way for the new people, and for my subscribers. Welcome back. Thank you so much for subscribing and following along. We're trying to get to the 1,000 subscriber and above mark, so that we can do super live chat together, and it'll be so much fun. I'll be able to, like, because this is what I do for a living. I've been reading people since, well, professionally since freshman year of school. Let's just say the 80s. Go there. So let's get some business out of the way. This is a Path of True Love reading, which means this is about you. Yes, there may be plenty of people that the cards that come up, you'll say, oh, that's them, that's not me, that's them. This is all about your spiritual path, your healing path, your hero's journey, whatever you want to call your way through the world, seen through the lens of your relationships. The idea, the point of the Path of True Love is that every relationship in your life is here to help you. I know, but you don't have to like it. And in retrospect, and really from the point of view of the higher self, the fifth dimensional selves and above, the guides, the masters, it's like everything is here to help us grow. But on a soul level, right, the personality and the ego do not always get what they want, right? But this way you can reframe your relationships, right? The tricky ones, the lovely ones, right? The soulmates, the twin flames, the true lovers, all of that stuff as something that's happening for you instead of to you, and you don't have to like it, and you don't have to Pollyanna it for 1 second more than necessary, which is not at all. Also, this is a general read, all right? So it's, and for what I'm feeling, this one feels very mystical, very spiritual. So if it doesn't click for you, it doesn't click for you. That's okay. That's why I always do Sun, Moon, and Rising when I do zodiacal signs. And if it's something like, like Path of True Love or Twin Flame or something like that, I will use Venus, Mercury retrograde, or use Mercury. You get the idea. But I always do Sun, Moon, Rising so that you get puzzle pieces, right? So that you can kind of feel how it works out, right? So when I watch a video for Virgo Sun, it's very much about me being a Virgo Sun, but when I watch for Pisces, it really speaks to my Piscean moon. Got it? Cool. All right. The other thing, we're going to be doing some masculine, feminine here, divine masculine, divine feminine, but they're the divine masculine and feminine within you as you balance and heal those polarities within yourself, or really, in terms of divine masculine, divine feminine, they really are here to help you, to heal you. It's a long story, a long holographic fifth dimensional story, but that affects every relationship in your life. And in Path of True Love readings, believe me, the Path of True Love ain't just about love and romance. It's about your parents, or lack thereof. It's about your siblings, or lack thereof. It's about your friends. It's about co-workers. It's about every relationship in your life, reason, season, or lifetime. Because all of them serve. All of them are written into the script of the quantum divine plan for the betterment and the well-being of all, you included. Cool? What else? Remember to breathe. That's been very, very clear since doing the Samhain reads, which were just something else. These have been, I think, along the same lines, actually. Because that's what's going to keep the flow going, and particularly because of Pisces, because we're like a Pisces moon, so I'll give you a little fishy secret here. If you breathe in and out through the mouth, I know it's called mouth breathing. It's called mouth breather. But if you do it as sort of like a practice, like a breathing practice, it sounds like the ocean. It's called oceanic breath. I didn't make it up. And you instantly feel the ebb and flow. That's our thing, Pisces. That's our thing, the ebb and flow of emotion. That's how we love what rises when we can't even conjure the words. Just breathe. You're breathing in everything you need. The chi, the prana, the reiki, the shmeki, the eggs, the bakey, right? Everything that you need in from source, from within your core, however you want to see that. And exhaling everything that is ready to be released on the exhale. And never do you breathe in everything you need forever, and never do you breathe out everything that needs to go all at once, right? It's that process of breathing. So I notice that when I've been doing it, when they've been saying to me, breathe, and I say breathe, the energy goes deeper. Because remember, I'm used to reading people across a table in person, right? I've been doing it for decades. So, talking to a camera, the energy gets high. So that's how I'm staying grounded. So I recommend it just as a basic practice. And I'm certainly not the first person to talk about following your breath, right? Be the breath. Be the ball. Noonan. All right. Is that everything? Oh, all the decks that I'm reading are in the description box below at the bottom. All of them that I use in total are there, but I don't always use every single deck in every reading, obviously. But also in my description box, you will notice there are links there. The first one's actually underneath the general description for this reading. 5 classes in what's called the Path of True Love Workshop, right? They're on Vimeo on demand. They're unlimited views. Once you buy it, you can watch it forever. You can take notes. You can play it on your every device that you get Vimeo on. Cool, so you might want to check it out. And then I think that's it. If anything else needs to pop up, I'm sure it will. Let's dive in. We're going to start getting you your dominant Piscean archetype from the Caroline Myss archetype cards, right? So call in your guides, your masters, your whoever, whatever, Zan, Jaina, Wonder Woman, Superman, Granny Weatherwax, whoever is in your higher ups. Breathe. Here we go. My pantheons, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, can you give us one card in clarity for this Piscean collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign on the Path of True Love for November 2019, that we can see what is the dominant archetype, the soul power that we can alchemize from lead to gold on the Path of True Love this month. Please, clear, clean guidance. The networker. Now I know you think business brunches, but now with social networking, with social media, it's, those things still exist, and I think if they're helpful, they're helpful. I mean, there aren't that many breakfast business brunches for professional witches, but I'm working on that, actually. That's a whole other side gig I'm developing. We're talking about energetic networking here as well. Now, this is, the networker is one of the creative family of archetypes, so it's in there with the artist and the gardener, right? Because it's creating. You create a network, and within a network you can create. So usually when I read these, I read the light, then the shadow. But since those Samhain reads, no. I started reading the shadow first, and it just works better, and I think you'll feel this out. So ready? Breathe. The shadow attribute conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. Now, I will cop to this, being a Pisces moon. Fear and falsehood, right? When, Pisceans are kind of known, and on this end, and I came up with this, Pisceans are sort of the best liars in the universe because they can believe a lie so deeply, so emotionally, from a place of pain, from a place of suffering, from a place of trauma. How about just the empathic field, right? Just feeling that the world isn't safe, that can promulgate, I don't want to say fake news, because this is really more like the information of fear and falsehood, even in their own energy system, right? that we can believe a lie so thoroughly, yet one fish, right? It's two fish. One of them knows it's not true. It's what happens when we choose fear over love, and it's written that way. We're supposed to do that. It's not that you've done anything wrong, but again, everything is happening for you. So the networker in its shadow side, you know what that engenders within yourself, right? Particularly conveying information only for personal gain. That can go into gossip, that can go into blackmail, that can go into emotional blackmail. And even if you've been on the recipient end of this, chances are you're going to want to do it to somebody else, because we only victimize other people that way with what's been done to us. That's what breaks the cycle of victimization, is not just doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. I'm all down with the golden rule, but getting that they only did to me what was done to them, and how do I want to respond rather than react. And now, so let's look at the gold. That's what we're shooting for here. Enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. That's our gig. We are the empaths of the zodiac. Now, I'm not going to say that everybody with a planet in Pisces is an empath, but we're not just talking about intuitive empathy here, are we? We're talking about caring about how other people feel, right? Like narcissists have no empathy, right? And I've been getting all this information about narcissists because I just cut a crap ton of them out of my life. Again, this will be the last time I will say this, at least in this series. It's the last one. Archangel Michael Chainsaw. Just like cut them all out. Because when you are an empathic person, right, when you care, and even particularly if you are intuitive. Look, everybody has intuition. Intuition is not a gift, it's a skill. Ask Caroline Mace, she'll tell you. Everybody has intuition, but like bicep muscles, like any skill, repetition is the mother of skill. You can develop it. But narcissists really, we are like, oh, sweet, sweet cherry pie, you know, we are dessert, right? We're blood bags. So, you know, not that they're horrible people. Their souls are immaculate like everybody else's, but their wounds are deep. So, you know, this whole thing about engendering awareness and empathy, right? Not necessarily wearing your heart on your sleeve. Go ahead, wear your heart on your sleeve, but have some good jewelry ready in case you have to cut a boundary, a line in the sand, particularly in your communications. So, you know, this is a very, very highly creative thing, because look at what networking does, right? Through social networks. Just lives turn on a dime for letter for gold all day, every day, right? One person writes one post, drag them, burn them, right? Just horrible. So to really get that your network is a big part of this on the path of true love, and just like what I'm doing here with these readings, enhances unity through the sharing of information. Yeah, right? Unity consciousness. It's actually fifth dimensional unity consciousness. It's where I'm living most of the time, every day. Particularly doing these readings and blessing the cards. My God, the blessing of the cards. It's like the goddess Diana just sat right in my heart. It was amazing. So let's keep going. Let's ask the angels now to clarify that. This is the dominant energy, right? This is going to be every other card that hits the table is going to be clarifying that in some way. So, get the purple hair out of my nose. Breathe. You feel how much I speed up because the energy is so high? Oh, my angels, there you are, please. One card in clarity for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for November 2019. Please, we've got the Piscean networker. Can you please clarify for the Pisceans November on the path of true love, divine timing? Look, the work that you've put in, the energy that you've outflowed, the blessings you've done, whatever it is that you've put out into your network, and boy, they're really being clear, not just in the 3D world. I mean, if you've been praying, if you've been casting, if you've been blessing, whatever energy work that you're doing, and I think this is particularly true of Pisces, by the way, or particularly Pisces moon, that's me, I would know, right? I would feel that. What you heal within yourself emotionally, you are healing in the collective. It's the quantum nature. That's what fifth dimensional unity consciousness is. It's always been this way, but you become conscious of it. It's like, oh my God, every time I heal something, right? Unpack and dissolve some emotional baggage, alchemy, I prefer that language. Transform lead into gold, transmute lead into gold. I'm healing that for everybody else on the planet. Now, well, then how come we're not all healthy? Well, because we're looking at millennia of this toxicity, but that we are purging it, right? It's what empaths do, and that's why it's so important that if you truly are an empath, to understand there are certain, I want to say the words they're giving me is electromagnetic biomechanics. Electromagnetic biomechanics. Waving arms, man. Oh my God, that was a fucking mouthful there. Read Caroline May's Anatomy of the Spirit. I mean, seriously. But with divine timing here, it's like all that you are putting out there, there is a divine timing element in here. Everything is working out according to the divine plan. You've done nothing wrong. And what's interesting, neither has everybody else. This is all part of the script. It's all part of the plan. But like a a world-size virtual reality game, all of the outcomes are already written and determined, but there are gotta say, near infinite amount of them. So every time you say no, there's a path that says yes, and a quantum version, what I call a quantum variant, right? Because it's a variation of who you are, but, a near infinite amount of them. Just go watch The Flash. It's just, they explain it so much better. And Grant Gustin, he's so cute. So with divine timing, you can't speed it up, you can't slow it down, but what you can do is enjoy the ride, right? And you can play with this network. You can be working to unify, right? That feels so good. Enhances unity through the sharing of information, which a sharing of information means it's not just you giving it, it's you receiving it, right? It's equal exchange. So now what we're going to do is we're going to ask the Daughters of the Moon Tarot to see what's going on in your divine feminine on the path of true love. Very exciting stuff. Ready? Oh, this is the one where Diana came and sat right in me. Breathe. Am I going to draw down on camera? I think I have already, but didn't realize it. My goddesses, please, one card in clarity for this Piscean collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign on the path of true love. What's going on in the divine feminine within the Piscean collective on the path of true love for November 2019? Compassion. Compassion, the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups, I know, often thought of as the card of nostalgia, but here it is about the what? It's about the movement of emotion, and 6 is a number of balance and harmony. This is about being compassionate with yourself as whatever is going on in your internal world, particularly the emotional, the yin, right? The intuitive, the psychic, I hate that word, but we'll use it in this context, right? To love, to heal, to feel compassion. Now, the key to compassion for me might be different. By all means, research it, read up on it, because compassion and empathy go hands in hand. So, for instance, narcissists have no empathy, therefore can't really feel compassion, but they can pretend they do, but they always get something as a payoff, right? Something that makes them feel good, right? Personal gain, right? So here, this is about knowing, here's my key, everybody is doing the best that they can considering their level of consciousness, right? Considering what they've been through. We don't even know everything that we've been through, hence the emotional baggage, right? The stuff in the sub and in the unconscious mind. So how can we possibly know somebody else's? So in divine timing here, in other words, if you haven't been feeling it yet, it's time. Maybe not right at the second you're watching this video, right? You don't have to like the divine plan, but if you are at least entertaining the idea that somehow all of this is working out for the benefit and the well-being of all concerned, you may not like that on every day, then in retrospect, you can look back and go, oh my God, that really did help me, because here I am now, and I couldn't have gotten here without that. And we've all been there. At a certain age, you realize we've all been there, right? So that compassion for yourself, compassion for others, but this is yin, right? So this might be about compassion for yourself, the healing of your own energetic field, and therefore clearing it for the entire collective. And sometimes not just the collective of humanity, the collective of life, like emotional pain. Like if animals are in physical pain, what about when animals are in emotional pain, right? So this could be a whole level, like empathic advocacy. I got enough on my plate right now, thank you very much. But you hear what I'm saying? Really cool. So Diana, let's ask the gods. We're going to use the Mythic Tarot to get the energy of the Divine Masculine for you here. I love this. I love doing this so much so that I'm going to say, breathe. Oh, it just works. It's about doing it consciously. You're going to breathe anyway, right? Okay, my gods. Please, one card in clarity for this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign networker with divine timing and compassion in the divine feminine. Please, my gods, one card of clarity. For the Path of True Love, November 2019, for this Pisces, what's going on with the divine masculine energy and the Lovers? No, please, I'm in between them right now. Actually, I started dating somebody new, kind of, sort of in between. You know, it's like you got to pass the narc test. Are you a narc? Right? But of course, so what is the Lovers card? Always about, first and foremost, is a decision. Not a choice, a decision. A life-changing decision. Now, I love this card, not just because it's the Lovers. Oh my God. This is the Judging of Paris, okay? If you just Google that. I won't give you the whole story, but essentially, Eris, the goddess of discord, did not get invited to the wedding of Cadmus and Harmonia. Harmonia, the daughter of Ares and Aphrodite, which you have to say they weren't married. But there's the Greek pantheon for you. I love them. They're my original tribe. So Eris got pissed off that she wasn't invited, because who invites discord to a wedding? What did you invite Eris for? What are you, crazy? She's gonna mix up the name cards at the table. You don't want to. No, I've been to too many weddings in my life. So what she does is she takes this golden apple and hucks it into the middle of the reception, right? Or maybe it was at the wedding. I don't remember right at this moment. There were probably different versions. Homer, I think that's Homer. And written on the golden apple is, "You're the most beautiful goddess." Well, what are the three goddesses that come up there? Aphrodite, Athena, and Hera. Okay, love, wisdom, and power. And the gods are like, nope. No, where? Because they all lunge for it, and they go to Zeus. You choose who's the most beautiful goddess. And he was like, oh no. 2 daughters and my wife not going there. King, right? We will get the fairest man on planet Earth, meaning not just the best looking fair, but the fairest, the most just, right? Who do they get? Paris. Not the city, obviously. That's a big teleportation trick. I'm sure the gods could do it. Wouldn't put it past them. So Paris is brought to Olympus, and he's told the situation. He's like, please don't make me do this. He goes, this is your divine command. Do it or fry. And he goes, all right. So he takes the golden apple. He says, give me some time. I need to, feel this out. My life is on the line. So one at a time, each goddess comes to him. So let's just say Hera comes first. Hera offers him the world, right? She's holding the planet in her hand. She's like, I will give you power over the whole world if you give me that damn apple, them bitches. Sure, that's not what she said. She's a queen. She goes, those girls, I am the mother here. I am the queen. It goes to me, right? And he goes, please, my queen, please, just let me chill. She's like, fine. Pulls an Endora. Whoop, she's gone. Next comes Athena. Athena says, if you give me that apple, you won't need to rule the world, because you will be the wisest man on earth. There will be no door locked to you, right? Relationships, you'll figure them out, right? You'll be given infinite wisdom, infinite knowledge. He goes, oh, great gray-eyed one. Please don't smoke me. But please, just I need to ruminate. I need to do my thing. She's like, fine. Choose wisely. Poof, she's gone. Last one in, Aphrodite, and I love her so much. Paris. Remember Paris? You give me that apple. Those two are sky goddesses, okay? The queen of the stars and the goddess of wisdom. You give me that apple, I will give you the most beautiful woman on earth as your true love. He gives her the apple. The most beautiful woman on earth is Helen of Troy, hence the Trojan War. A life-changing decision, not coffee, tea, or milk, right? Not half calf or decaf or full-on blow my eyes out with caffeine. It's a big deal. So the divine masculine is in this crossroads, life-changing place. Like, so that's when people are like, oh, the lovers, you're going to be together. I'm like, the original imagery of this is Adam and Eve, right? In the Garden of Eden. Gee, what life-changing decision did they make that day, right? Apples. An apple a day keeps apparently at that point fifth dimensional unity consciousness away, because that's what we dropped from. That was the choice, the decision to go into the illusion of separation, hence the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? Life-changing. So that's why with the divine feminine here, feeling this compassion for the self, for others, maybe silently behind the castle wall, I'm just sending those waves out right through the network. No need for face-to-face confrontation yet. If you can bless them from a different distance, if you can heal you first, right, and in the collective. But it's a major decision going on here that the divine masculine is forth with. Sorry for such the lesson, but I'm a teacher first and foremost. I'm a spiritual teacher. Go look at my I always want to say back catalog. Go look at my videos that I posted 3 years ago forward, right? I have had the channel for 3 years. It's only been these past, like, what, 6 months? No, less than 6 months that I've been doing readings on here, though I've been doing it since I'm very young. Ready? Let's see what the masters have to say about this. And here we're looking at, oh good gods, the Chuck Spezzano Womp Womp cards. Half the deck is the suit of problems necessary. You need to know the lead. Right, remember, you're dealing with the network archetype here. There are others involved here on the path of true love for you. There might be a number of different options, people involved. Even in this card of the Six of Cups, there's this image of a lot of people. Here in the Lovers card, there's a lot of people. So kind of feeling that. The other three suits in this deck are the Luck, the Healing, and the Grace suit. So it's balanced 50-50 between those three in the Problem suit. Ready? My masters, please, you who've graduated this game, who see the game from the outside, please help us Pisceans with this, with all of this intensity and depth. Breathe, they say, breathe. One card in clarity for this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for November 2019. What's going on for this Piscean network or archetype? There's a villain involved. Now, as I said, any card that hits the table has to do with you. I can relate to this card in terms of knowing that I can tie myself to the tracks, right? That's what's going on here. The villain is tying someone to the tracks. Are you feeling, maybe not victimized, because there is no victim card in this deck, but villainized? You know, the path of true love, the Virgo's crossing his legs. I might light a cigarette too for this one. An American spirit would come in real handy right now, but no, I don't need that kind of chat on my channel. The path of true love is a hero's path, not a villain's path. Okay? But you will encounter villains left, right, and center. And with this divine timing, and with the networker, considering social media and texting and all of that stuff, with that Six of Cups, compassion, but a decision to be made, there's a decision here about whether are you going to see all of them as villains, particularly as you are loving what rises within you for this month. I'm going to tell you, a kid was crying outside my home today, just a kid from the neighborhood, and he cries a lot, it's okay, he's a little kid. But there was real, and it just went right into my cell tissue and I felt it. So make sure you are very clear that you're not thinking it's all you, right? To breathe, that this is a time for this, not just because it's Pisces moon, but because the divine, what it is that we want on the path of true love is to be true love, which means we're going to have people who challenge us, who villainize us. Now, again, I've been dealing with a lot of narcissistic, maybe not, narcissistic personality disorder diagnosed, right? But people who are exhibiting narcissistic tendencies, hard to say with a gap in your tooth, angel's gap. But to really understand, this is where this card of compassion, so this decision may or may not be about whether or not to deal with a villain, a narcissist. It's to understand and feel compassion that all of that is a reaction, sometimes a lifelong reaction, to their deep pain at being neglected and or abused. And I've said this for a bunch of videos because it's once I got this, everything else made sense. He cleared his throat. It's not that they feel like shit underneath it all. They feel they are shit underneath it all. Why? Because in developmental years, through different toxic relationships, they were wounded. But that was written in the script, you see. That was in the character description. We are souls that were chosen to play the roles. The soul that's in this body, the animating force, was chosen to play the role of Angelo Lyons. And I'm sure the soul, I can speak from the soul, I read the character description, I was like, hey, purple-haired witch of 51, I'm in. Right? Just interesting. It wasn't the same old, oh, I had done Farmer's Wives. I mean, I was Farmer's Wives. That's what I mean by done Farmer's Wives, I've been male, I've been female, we've all been everything, right? It's a game. On this level, it doesn't look like a game. It feels like real life. And it is real. For a game, right? For the purpose of the divine plan. So this person incarnated, and you have a contract with them in order to heal this. Now the thing is you got to be compassionate with yourself, because the thing about villains that come into our lives when it's on the path of true love, if it's an overt villain, a malicious narcissist, or an overt narcissist, at this point, usually you can avoid them, right? Because you see them coming. They're very yang. But if they are covert, if they are, for instance, martyrs, but there's always a sense of smugness and entitlement in there somewhere, then you have to look at why am I drawn to, and not why did I create a narcissist in my life. No, that's contract-based. The law of attraction has nothing to do with what is written in your contract. So yes, of course there's a law of attraction. Of course it does what it's supposed to do, but really what it attracts to you is what you need to learn to heal, to grow, and evolve. So think of it, this soul took this other body, took on this role that maybe in your last life you and this soul had the most strongest intimate love you've ever had until hopefully this life, right? Or maybe it was your mother. I remember when I first did past life regression, what was I, age 17, 18, with a cassette tape. Dick Sutphin, wow, flashback. I was shown that my father in this life, I remember them saying to me, my guides, they were like, your father wasn't always your father, and it clicked. Oh my God, you haven't been my father in every life. I mean, I kind of knew that intellectually, but it was visceral. So the decision to be compassionate here will balance things out in your mental emotional field. It just will. Because villains are just victims, and they are doing to you what was done to them. Breathe. So it doesn't mean you gotta let them do it again. In fact, I recommend you don't. Educate yourself, right? Learn about this stuff. And really, I've said her name a couple of times. The Quantum Queen, great channel on YouTube. I love her, and I believe she's a Pisces. I think she said so, but Oy. All right, 2 more cards down. Whisper of Love. I don't care if this one goes long. This is my moon sign, people, and I'm feeling you all. The divine love here. It's just it's really making this flow in a very powerful way. So once again, breathe. One more. The collective, I call upon the higher selves of all involved. Please. One card in clarity for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Networker archetype on the path of true love for November 2019, because we've got the networker, divine timing, the Six of Cups, compassion, the Lover's card, major arcana, and the villain. It's a problem. They usually are. You know, I really do believe, all right, that through the process of alchemy, even a villain can become a hero, but they have to take the hero's journey. They gotta be bad, they gotta be bold, they gotta be wiser. Bud. Wiser. Okay. Here we go. Please, higher selves. One card here. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. There it is. The only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. The only thing that matters is love, because love is what heals. So I've learned, stop trying to heal yourself, just love and watch love what rises, right? You get triggered by something, you pull back, you swim back to your little castle in the sea, under the sea, and you love what rises. You just don't let it control your behavior, right? It is like, it is a form of exorcism, emotional exorcism, but really what it's doing is loving the emotional field, loving the inner child. I mean, but you got to get that the true inner child is a piece of your higher self. It's the seed of the higher self in this body. And then around that is the personality, around that is the ego, it's like these layers. So when we talk about peeling an onion, it's more like loving the layers of the onion as more and more and more. So whatever comes up, you alchemize the lead to gold. Yeah. The only thing that is real is love. So this isn't just about forgive them so you feel better. This is about understand this is a contract, but it is a decision. No one else can make this decision. You don't have to talk to them. If they are toxic, if you have been abused, neglected, even if you are well aware it is codependent and you don't want to deal, or, well, network or communication, this might very well be about block for compassion to myself, but then I'm going to bless you from afar. I am going to grow. I am going to ask my gods, my masters, my angels, the divine feminine within me. I want to feel more compassion. I want to be more, teach me, show me how to be more compassionate, not just here, and here, right? To feel it all the way into the belly, that second chakra, to be able to send compassion to them that they couldn't have done what they did. The villain can't do what they did unless they were in pain. So love is the only thing that's going to heal you. Does it heal them? Maybe it bounces off their field and goes to somebody else who's really in need of it. Bonus salute. So that's why you can't bless somebody with an ulterior motive, right? You just got to be, maybe blessed. All right, blessed be, blessed be, blessed be, with no attachment to outcome from me. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. If I end up writing a rap song, really no one will be more shocked than me. I would get someone else to perform it, though. I would just write the lyrics. Last deck, new deck. Journey of Love. So good. It's so funny. I just started using this today, and then one of the other readers that I follow read it, and they're reading. I'm like, oh my God. I was reading it in the book while they were reading it aloud. It's great. So since this is new, and there's no way I'm going to memorize all of these, this is so deep. There's poetry and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'll eventually learn the oracular meanings, but every time I draw one of these for myself, it's like, it's so beautiful, right? And true, like really right on. Specific in a poetic way, which I kind of like, sort of implodes the paradigm. But in these readings, I think they've been very powerful, and people have even commented on it. So great deck, love it. But just as we started with the archetype cards from the collective pantheons, we do the same with this. We start and end the same way. Breathe. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity for this Piscean collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for November 2019. The collective says it's the networker archetype we are to look at, focus on, and alchemize. The angels, all in divine timing. We can relax on the when. The divine feminine, the goddesses are saying 6 of Cups. Compassion is what this is all about for this month and beyond, because compassion is an aspect of the soul, true understanding. And the grace of understanding is the antidote to the deadly sin of entitlement. So entitlement, narcissist, got it. Wow. The divine masculine, the gods are talking about the lovers, a decision, love, wisdom, or power. Which will it be? And the only thing that's real is love. In terms of dealing with this villain, doesn't mean that you have to let them back in, but shift your focus from the problem back to love of self, love of the divine. So please, my collective pantheons, one card for us Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love. Last card down. November 2019. Heaven! Card number 70, which is a 7. Crown chakra, I'm going to say there. Heaven. Feels like heaven. Heaven. Beep, 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 beep. Is this the last card in the deck? Contemplation. It is the last card in the deck. No shit. Okay. Now I'm going to read this to you. Oh, by the way, the author is Alana Fairchild. The artist, I believe, who does the artwork is Rassouli, Rassouli. And I believe Richard Cohn, Cohn, is the poet. So it's a 3-part collaboration. Oh, breathe. I may have to breathe through. I'm sorry. I may have to breathe through this. You are meant to live in heaven now, not later, sometime after you die. What use is this life and body, if not to live heaven now? Look for the mad divine genius in all that is, especially the puzzling parts of your life that make you scratch your head, or tear at your hair, or scrunch up your face and scream with frustration. Those are the places in which the divine is saying, here, heaven is hiding. Lead. Let's unveil it together. Gold. Let me show you. Let me unveil your own mad divine genius right here. Look for heaven, even in hiding. It will not withhold itself from you for long, beloved. It wants to be known by you. This is what I was feeling in when I was blessing and shuffling the cards before I hit record. Breathe. This oracle brings you a special message. The Enlightener is calling you to more, to more, to more. More divinity, more love, more acceptance, more embrace of life itself. There is no limit in what is being offered to you from the divine lover, calling to you, the beloved. Rejoice and know that the dance of love between you and the divine is removing the veils of illusion one at a time in divine timing until you behold each other naked and true, finally to discover you are each other. You are love. The sky ablaze with morning light, on silver wings of birds in flight. In gratitude, a tear released, a knowledge embraced at peace. She speaks to those that gaze below, ancestral wings which call my soul to open hearts and soar above. In awe, the winds await this love. This villain here, best thing that could ever happen to you, but not necessarily in the way most people would go, what the fuck are you saying? They tied me to a train track and drove a train across me. That's not what I mean. That's not what this is saying. This is saying pull back. Pull back. Pull back your communications for a bit. If not permanently, bless them from a distance. Love whatever they triggered inside of you. what the heaven card is saying is that heaven is there too. But you got to look at it differently. But it's a decision you have to make. Let's put these all together, shall we? So we got the networker archetype here, all about communication and information. But in the case of a Piscean energy like this, it is also, oh, I hate using this word, but psychic information, intuitive information. But psychic, the original meaning of the word psyche is soul, hence the word like psychology, right? It's not just about the fourth dimensional psychological world. It is about the eighth and above. It is the fifth dimension and above. It is the realm of the soul. So soul communication, soul connections. It's a Pisces thing, right? You hear the word madness in here? Mysticism and madness go hand in hand until you integrate, right? Because it's the implosion of the light and the shadow in you. It's crazy making, but it's not insanity. It's madness. Caroline Mace, Spiritual Madness. Brilliant work on Dark Night of the Soul. So maybe you're going through a Dark Night of the Soul, not feeling that here. So in terms of how you communicate, not just this or this or this. So we've got the networker with divine timing, that this has all been perfectly timed. There was no fuck up. It's all been. It's like if something took so long that you wanted to just end it all, that's fine. If you did end it all, then that's what you were supposed to do. But the goddess is saying, compassion now for yourself. You've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong. They did nothing wrong. This was all a setup to teach you something. It's all heaven at work. It's all heaven at work. So even when you say, what is this madness that I had to endure? This madness I see in the world, it's like, it's heaven in disguise. But that's a decision you got to make for your own emotional well-being. That's being compassionate to yourself. You don't got to tell everybody. You don't got to accept it all at once. In fact, you don't really have to accept it at all. That's free will for you. But in terms of being villainized, it is helpful, truly helpful, that you can get the villain is a mask. Behind the mask is a wound, and behind that wound is you, the divine child, the hidden children of the gods. Pagans will talk about that left, right, and center, but do you really get to the soul what that means? Hidden even unto ourselves, under these roles we play, these masks we wear, and under that our wounds. First face, second face, third face. The third face is the innocent child of the divine. You're talking a soul connection? That's what you're drawn to in somebody in a soul connection. Twin flame, soulmate, doesn't matter what you call it. It's soul to soul. It is a soul contract embodied within the psychology and the physical forms of humanity. And what is the higher self saying? Everything that's real is love anyway. So love yourself. If it hurts to love this other person, then that's part of your process. Loving unconditional love doesn't mean putting up with unconditional bad toxic behavior. Abuse or neglect, contract done. Archangel Michael chainsaw. Just cut him out of your life, walk away. But then in terms of communication, I have a feeling that this villain's going to come in, but get that the villain is a hero screaming to be released from the pain and the patterning of the villain, right? So are they Superman? Or are they Lex Luthor? Or are they Connor Kent? Superboy. Little half and half. Sorry if that's a spoiler. Keep up. Aren't you watching Titans? You get to see Superboy, honey. He's a full-grown man. Well, yeah, teenager. Hopefully he's got to be legal. Otherwise they showed... Yeah, no. DC wouldn't do that to us. He's so cute, Connor Kent. Superboy. See, that's the Pisces in me. It's just like, cute boys. Love is the... Because, love is the only thing that's real, because heaven... This is the time. The divine timing. This is the time for you to experience heaven. You don't have to wait until you die for heaven. Heaven. Really? Ooh, baby, don't you know what that's worth? Oh, heaven is a place on earth. Thank you, St. Belinda of the Carlisles. Oh my God, my Pisceans, I love you so much. I took a long break in between the Aquarius and the Pisces read. Like, I made dinner, I fed the cats, I scooped the litter, I did everything I was supposed to do. And then these waves just kept hitting me. I was like, okay, this can't be all me. I'm sitting here chilling on the couch. What the fuck is this? But now I get it. They were opening me up for this, right? I had to like clear some stuff out so I could do this read. This is something else. So you see what I tell you, I've been doing this my whole life. I've got the empathic intuitive skill, but so does everybody. I just, this is like going to the gym. This is really like going to the gym. Oh, pity the poor narcissist that crosses my path next. And if my villains start coming back, because honey, I got a rogues gallery. Mercury retrograde, ex-boyfriend flash flood, right? Ex-lover flash flood. Let's just see what happens, but it's all in divine timing. So remember, Hermes, that's Hermes, Mercury. Mercury retrograde, it's all part of the divine plan too. So rethink, right? But remember, you have the free will to make the decision that will change your life. Money, wisdom, love, wisdom, or power. But love, the only thing that is real is love. Cool, cool. Thank you so very much, my Pisces. Wow, I'm so glad. I always save it. I don't know why. They always give me this last bit of mystical weird for the Piscean reads, because I'm a Pisces moon. I guess it's like the Diana and Circe. Those are the two goddesses that sit in that throne of Pisces for me, 8th house of all things. Yeah, they just come a-plowing through me. Cool, cool. Thank you so much. May the Piscean collective, myself included, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need. May they be blessed with heaven the month of November on the path of true love, that the only thing that's real, that whatever villains are there, that we can find the compassion and make the wise, loving, powerful decision. We're picking all three, the threefold flame of the heart, all in divine time and as we communicate at large for the well-being of all. And so it is. I love you, my mermaidians, my Piscean fish. This is our secret handshake. Oh, that looks a little bit like the sea turtle, doesn't it? I love you all so much. Have a really, really great month of November. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.